Hello friends, welcome back to the ninth episode, and today I am going to talk about lenses. We will try to understand what is focal length, what are different types of lenses which are available in the market, what is a kit lens, and how to use manual focus in lens. So without any further delay, let's get started. Before going ahead to understand what are the different types of lenses which are available in the market, it is important to understand first what is focal length. Basically, a focal length is the distance between the lens and the image sensor of the camera. And usually it is measured in millimeters, that is 28 mm or 50 mm or 100 mm. The longer the focal length, the smaller the angle and the larger the subject appears. Let me try to understand this particular sentence with an example. In this image, you can see when the focal length is at 17 mm, it is capturing the wide angle of the entire image. When it is coming to 28 mm, you can see the focus of the angle is narrowing, and when it is coming to 85 mm, and again there is a narrow and the larger the subject will appear. When it is coming to 200 mm, the larger the subject will be captured on the sensor. So when you zoom out, that is 28 mm or 17 mm, where the focal length is less, the entire scene will be captured and your subject will appear small. Let's understand different types of lenses which are available in the market. First is the standard prime lens, second is wide angle lenses, third is a zoom lens, fourth is macro lens, and fifth is telephoto lenses. Let me try to make it simple to understand with these examples. First, let's talk about standard prime lens. Prime lenses are for fixed focal length. This means that if you choose a focal length of 50 mm, it will only give you a 50 mm perspective. It means that you can't zoom in or zoom out. You can only shoot from a single one focal length. It means that you have to physically move forward and to move backward to get a wide shot or a close-up shot. Prime lenses are fixed lens and it works in all types of photography. So specifically like street photography, or you are doing wedding or portrait or landscape. So generally they come in 28 mm lens, 50 mm lens, 85 mm lens. So these are fixed lenses. So try to understand what are the pros and cons of having prime lens. Usually it delivers sharp images overall compared to a zoom lens. These are lightweighted and better in low quality condition because you can increase the aperture over here. It is great for general photography, for interiors to landscape and portraits. So let's talk about the limitations. So these are the fixed lens, you can't zoom over here, and the need to carry multiple lenses because these are the fixed lenses and you have to carry some couple of lenses along in your kit bag. Second is wide angle lenses. So wide angle lenses are pretty self-explanatory. They allow you to gain a wider field of view. So generally you will see all the landscape photographers tend to use these lenses and make sure that they get full scene of what they are photographing. Keeping in mind that the lower the number focal length, the more that will fit into the frame. Wide angle lenses tend to distort photos, especially of faces, which can be fixed moderately while post-processing. They are very versatile lenses to tend to be really affordable. So generally you will see the lenses which are below 35 mm, they are called as wide angle lenses. Lenses like 14 mm, 20 mm, 21 mm, 24 mm. So these are some of the different types of wide angle lenses. So let's talk about the pros and cons. So these wide angle lenses are lightweighted, great for hiking and throwing in a backpack. So it will give you a more depth of field, creating more in focus images. Cons, let's talk about the some drawbacks. They are not great for achieving compression, also known as bokeh effect or a blurry background. So they can create some distorted images. Third type of lens is zoom lenses. So generally zoom lenses are great due to their extreme versatility. These lenses allow you to stay in a one place, you don't have to run around, and zooms are to multiple focal lengths with one focus point function. The popular zoom lens in Canon is 70-200 mm, which means that it can zoom as far out as 70 mm and up to 200 mm, a very focal length in between. What really cool is that zoom lenses can maintain that focus while you can change the focal length as well. The popular zoom lenses are 18-135 mm lenses, 24-105 mm, 70-200 mm lenses. Let's talk about the pros and cons of these zoom lenses. So generally zoom lenses, they have the zoom capabilities, which means you get multiple focal length standing or sitting at one place. It allows you to stay in a position while using the zoom feature. It is great for weddings, portraits and wildlife photography. Let's talk about some of the limitations. First is they are very heavy in nature and not as sharp or as prime lenses. Typically higher aperture, it means many zoom lenses won't go below f2.8. So it is like they have some limitation of creating a compression or a bokeh effect. Now let's talk about macro lenses. These lenses are used for extreme close-ups. These macro lenses will show details in the fine hairs on insects, water droplets on plants, or detailed shots of diamond rings. Its main goal is to reproduce a life size, 1:1 image of your subject. Other lenses simply don't let you to get up close and to focus so precisely. Macro lenses has a variety of prime focal lengths ranging from 50 to 200 mm. Let's talk about the pros and cons. So first pros is they will allow you to extremely detailed shot, nature shots, wedding details, snowflakes, etc. They are very precise in nature. Second is getting the magnification of subjects up to 5x of the actual size. You will get the best quality of the entire image. Let's talk about some of the limitations. They have some limited use, not necessarily great for portraits or general photography. Second is they tend to be very expensive. Third is they reported to have some focusing issues, long focusing times and slow shutter speeds. Macro lenses create a different world altogether, which we actually can't see from our naked eyes. So you can see these images. So these are very precise images which are captured with the macro lenses. Now last is the telephoto lenses. So they are specifically, these are designed for wildlife photography or where you have to zoom a lot. The speciality of these telephoto cameras lenses are that they are used to photography subjects or scenes from a very far away. Some telephoto lenses can also zoom. It means that they don't necessarily fall into the fixed focal length or a prime category. So telephoto lenses are the best when it comes for photographing nature and wildlife. So basically when you don't want to irritate the majestic lion that seems to be the hungry side. It's perfect for planet, stars photography and for photographing sports as well. So these telephoto, they come up with the zoom category as well, that is 70-300 mm or 104 mm, 100 to 400 mm, and they have the fixed prime lens. It works as a fixed prime lens also, that is a 300 mm lens, 400 mm and 600 mm. So these are fixed focal lens. Now let's talk about the pros and cons. It is great for wildlife photography, sports and astronomy. You can shoot in one stationary position. It has a shallow depth of field. It means that you get great blurry images in the background. Let's talk about some of the limitations. They tend to be very heavy and often required to use a tripod. And these lenses, these telephoto lenses, are really very expensive. Let me make you understand the three categories of the wide angle lenses, regular lenses and telephoto lenses. So generally the lenses which are below 35 mm, that is 24 mm or 20 mm or 12 mm lenses, they are generally called as wide angle lenses. Regular lenses, they tend to be between 35 mm to 70 mm kind of a focal length. And third is, with the lenses which are above 70 mm, they fall into the category of a telephoto lenses. There is no scientific definition that the lens which is below 35, it will fall only in wide angle lens kind of a category. So this is generally like which is followed by all the photographers across the globe. Some of the lenses you will find they will fall in the category of wide angle or and a regular lens like 1855 mm lens. So they will again fall into these two categories. Now, which kind of a lenses you want? You want a telephoto lens or a regular prime lens or the regular lens or a macro lens? It depends upon what kind of a photography you want to do. So generally they fall to be into wide angle lens, standard lenses and a telephoto lenses, where you will see a fixed focal length, that is your 35 mm or a 50 mm or a 85 mm lens. So these are prime lenses, where you see two kinds of a focal length mentioned, that is 18-135, 70-200. So they are the zoom lenses. So all the lenses, they have the two category, that is a prime lens or the zoom lens. Next point is understanding your lenses. So generally you will see there are some digits or some nomenclatures which are written on the front side of the lens. So try to understand these, some of the nomenclatures. Let's take the example of this lens, that is 18-135 lens. So this is a Canon zoom lens. This is not a prime lens because there are two focal lengths written on the lens, that is 18 and 135. EFS is the category of the Canon zoom lens, and 1:3.5 and 5.6. The meaning of 3.5 is when you are shooting at 18 mm focal length, the f value, you can increase the aperture, that is up to max up to 3.5. And when you zoom in, to 100 mm or 135 mm, you can achieve minimum f value, that is 5.6. You cannot go below 5.6. So that is the meaning of 3.5 is to 5.6. IS is the image stabilization. So generally now all the lenses, they come up with image stabilization kind of a feature. So USM is one of the category of the motor which is used in a Canon lenses. Hope I have made it clear to understand these nomenclatures which is written on the lenses. Generally we have heard people talking about kit lenses. So try to understand what are kit lenses. So nowadays companies, they don't only sell the body of the camera, they sell it with a kit which involves a small lens which is a general lens. So in 80% of the situations we have seen the companies, they give 18-55 kind of a zoom lens. And in the kit it comes with a battery, a small memory card. So this comes up in the small kit while purchasing a camera. So that is called a kit lens. So also try to understand what is manual focus. So generally in the camera you will see there is a feature called a manual focus. So it is important to understand when to use this feature. Generally this feature is used when the camera cannot lock the subject. So when you are shooting in a sky, a clean blue sky, so the camera cannot lock the subject. In that situation you have to use manual focus. Second situation is where there is hardly any light in the room and you have to capture an image. So the camera cannot lock the focus. In that situation you have to use a manual focus. So friends, so hope you have learned something from this video tutorial, and I have made it very clear what is focal length and what are the different types of lenses which are available in the market, what are the pros and cons of different types of lenses, what are kit lenses, how do we use manual focus in different situations. So hope the video will help to gain some knowledge for exploring different types of lenses. So friends, in the next tutorial, that is the last tutorial of this playlist, I will be talking about some of the practical photography tips which needs to be carried out for your photography journey. So friends, hope you have liked this video and request you to like and subscribe this channel, and see you in the next episode. Thank you so much.